I'm going to see The Exorcist. I went out and bought the DVD, and I played it, and it really resonated with me because it was more than a shock film that you can't see because you're a kid, and it's horror and it's terrifying. It resonated because it was a story, 4 stories coming into one room, culminating into one room, written by William Peter Blatty, who wrote the book. He was the co-writer of Shot in the Dark with Blake Edwards. He's a comedy writer.
Okay.
So he goes to Georgetown to study law.
Yeah.
He digs up this case, I believe, of a 1959 14-year-old boy who was possessed by a devil, a demon.
Yep.
And all the raised, you haven't seen the movie, so there's raised lettering on the stomach that says, "Help me." All that stuff was accounted in this story. So as he's studying law cases, he writes this story about a young woman who has a mother who's a single mom actress who's trying to deal with life with being a professional actress and being a mother and being close to her daughter as they're living in Washington to be on the set of this movie she's making.
Okay.
You also have a detective, Lee Cobb, playing a detective who living in the neighborhood, kind of supposedly the foundation of the Columbo character. A bumbling comedian that might otherwise seem kind of stupid, but it's probably nothing, but I just wanted to bring it up, and I'll talk to you later. Who's basically the archetype for John Turturro on The Night Of. It's that type of seemingly bumbling character that ends up to be very intelligent, very smart. Right. So it's that story. It's the mother. It's Regan who's going through a transition in her life. She's a single girl, so she's growing into life. The metaphor is that she's changing.
This is the Linda Blair character.
Linda Blair character.
Okay.
The other story, well, actually it's 5 stories if you count that, but it's Father Karras who is doubting his faith because his mother's dying and he didn't do enough to help his mother, and so he can't take it. He doesn't know whether his faith...
It's clearly his fault.
God has forsaken him because his mother died and he never took care of her properly. And then you have another story with Max von Sydow who unearths in Iraq, it's at the beginning of the movie, he unearths this little statue called Pazuzu, which is a demon. And he realizes that when he digs it up, he's done something very terrible. And there's a very ominous sign. There's 2 ominous signs while they're in the Iraq portion of the movie, which, by the way, they had to use British crews because it was 72 while they were filming, and Americans weren't exactly accepted in Iraq because of the sort of relationship we had at the time.
Okay.
So there's like a 107-year-old woman that they have riding by in this dark carriage looking at him as he's already dug up Pazuzu in a very ominous stare. And then he stares to look at some ruins, and these pack of dogs start fighting. And the big old orange sun, and it fades to present-day Georgetown.
Okay.
With this mom walking down the street.
Wow. So nobody did him the Curse of the Mummy thing on him. It was just, we got it because an old woman looked deep into his soul and some dogs.
You shouldn't have, we could cuss, right? Dude,
yeah.
You shouldn't have fucking dug up that statue.
Yeah,
that's Pazuzu. That's a demon spirit.
Yeah.
That's like.
And then why don't you take it back to Georgetown with you?
Yeah, take it back to Georgetown.
Just stick it in your carry-on.